Hey, Gritty Kids. Welcome back to Gritty Kids Podcast. I am Miss Erin, and I am so happy you are here with me. The book I'm going to share with you today is truly one of my favorites. The title is Bodies Are Cool. The author's name is Tyler Fetter, and the illustrator's name is Tyler Fetter. That's right. Tyler wrote the words and drew the pictures in this book. Wow. I am delighted to tell you that today the author, Tyler, is here with me. Welcome, Tyler.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, we're so happy to have you. If you would like to share the pronouns that you use for yourself, you can, but you don't have to. I go by Miss Erin and use she, her pronouns.
I also use she, her pronoun. We have matching pronouns.
Nice. Before we get started, I want to let our listeners know what to expect during this episode. As we read through the first time, Tyler and I will stop on each page to tell you a little bit about the story and the illustrations. After we finish reading, Tyler is going to answer a few questions I have for her. Then Tyler is going to read through the book one more time without any interruptions. We will finish by letting you and your grown-ups know how you can learn more about Tyler and her beautiful work. Just a reminder, if you hear this sound, that means I am going to stop reading the author's words and use my own words to talk about the story. Then, when I play this sound, it means I'm going to start reading the author's words again. If you hear this sound, that means I am turning the page. If you are following along at home, you can turn the page with us. These sounds are going to be really important to help you follow along today because this book has a lot to look at. We won't be able to describe every detail, but we will do our best to help you make a picture in your mind as you listen. There are so many things I love about this book. I can read it over and over and over again and always find something new that I love. Sometimes people are told that the way their bodies look or things their bodies do or don't do make them different. And a lot of kids and grown-ups too think that being different is bad. This book is such a good example of how every single body is different and special and capable and good. All right, here we go. Are you ready, Tyler?
I'm ready.
Okay. Bodies Are Cool by Tyler Fetter. On this first page, there are lots of people in their underwear. They all have their eyes closed and seem really happy and calm. One person has glasses, one has braces and a hearing aid, one has freckles, another person has a line on their chest, and another person has something round on their tummy. I'm not sure what that is.
I can tell you what that is.
Amazing.
It's called an ostomy bag.
What is that for?
It is for people who have some kind of trouble with their digestive system. So they'll get a surgery where the doctors take the intestines inside your body and they connect it to a special hole on the outside of the person's tummy.
Hmm.
And that hole is called a stoma. And then the bag, like what you see in the picture, connects to that hole and it collects the person's poop because they might have trouble pooping because it hurts inside their body. So this way they don't have to have that pain. So instead of sitting on the toilet to poop, they'll go into the bathroom and they'll take the bag off and dump it out and then put it back on, and it's really helpful for lots of people.
Wow. And what was the word again?
It's called an ostomy bag.
Okay, ostomy bag. Wow. My first thought was that's kind of gross. I guess it's just a different way that people's bodies work to go to the bathroom. And it sounds like a really great thing if people's bodies can't go to the bathroom by sitting on the toilet.
That's right. I mean, poop is kind of gross no matter how it comes out,
That's right.
It's just one other way. And then I can also tell you about that line,
Yes.
it's scar. So some people will have a scar that goes down the center of their chest like that, and it's called a zipper scar because
Okay.
that's where a zipper would be, like on a coat.
And how does somebody end up getting a scar like that?
It can probably be from a bunch of different things, but I think the most common thing is if the person has some kind of surgery on their heart. Because if you think about where your heart is, it's kind of right in the middle under where a zipper would go. So it's like the doctors pulled down the zipper and opened up the person's body to fix them and then zip.
Mm, that is really incredible. Both of those people must have been brave to have big surgeries like that. I can tell already that I'm going to learn a lot from you while we read this book. There are words on this page, not just pictures, and the words say big bodies, small bodies, dancing, playing, happy bodies. Look at all these different bodies. Bodies are cool. This next page has lots of people, enclosed this time. It looks like they are on a bus or a train. Everyone is really close, and there are babies, kids, grown-ups, and older people. There are also people with scarves on their heads, beads in their hair. One person is in a wheelchair, and it looks like they're playing a clapping game with a child. Another person looks like a grown up man, but he is shorter than some of the kids on the train. There are a few grown ups by themselves and lots of families on this bus. One family looks like they have a mommy and three kids. There are a few mommies and daddies and parents who seem to just have one kid. One family, that family looks a little bit like mine. There are two moms and two kids.
Yeah, there are few people with scarves on their heads on this page and throughout the book, you might see as we keep going. On one side of the page, there's a grown up and a kid, and they both have a scarf that kind of goes over their head like a hood and wraps around their neck and it covers their hair. And that's called a hijab, and that's what people who are Muslim will wear. On the other side, there's a grown up and a little kid, and they both have turbans on their heads, and that's like a scarf that kind of keeps all their hair inside like a hat, and sometimes it can look like a bun on top of a person's head. And that's from
Okay.
a religion where they're Sikh, Sikh. It's different
Oh,
from Sick.
sure, which means that you have a cold or something.
Right.
Okay, so the people on the left, the grown up and the little kid, they are wearing, can you tell me how to say that word again?
Hijab.
Hijab. Okay. And that is usually worn by people who follow a religion called Islam, and the people who follow it are called Muslim.
Yes.
This is really
Mhm.
exciting. And then the other two people on the page, the grown up in the wheelchair and then that kid, they're wearing a different looking headscarf, and that is called a turban.
That's right.
And their religion is called Sikh.
That's right.
Okay, I've got
Mm,
it. Thank you for teaching me all these things.
my pleasure.
And I love the words on this page. They say lanky bodies, squat bodies, tall, short, wide, or narrow bodies, somewhere in the middle bodies. Bodies are cool. These words are reminding me to notice how young or old, there are lots of different sizes of bodies.
That's right. There are so many different ways that bodies can look different from one another.
Mm.
We'll see more of those throughout the book.
On this page, the words read round bodies, muscled bodies, curvy curves and straight bodies, jiggly wiggly fat bodies. Bodies are cool. On this page, there are people in a dance studio. It looks like they are in a ballet class. The dance students are grown-ups and kids, and some grown-ups that are the same height as some of the kids. Oh, and I noticed one person has a prosthetic leg and foot. They put a matching ballet slipper onto their prosthetic foot. Some dancers look like boys to me, and others look like girls. And some dancers, I can't tell if they are girls or boys. I remember that sometimes people don't feel like a girl or a boy. That is called non binary. Or sometimes when babies are born and everyone thinks that they're a boy, but they're really a girl, or they might think the baby is a girl and they are really a boy. I remember that is called trans. I wonder if some of these dancers are non binary or trans. Another person has a little pink box on their leotard. I've seen people with something like that before. It was a monitor to help them because they had diabetes. I wonder if that's what it is. I also noticed some people have hair on their legs and others don't. The words remind me to notice how all of their bodies are different sizes and shapes. But I keep thinking about one word that I read, fat. Isn't the word fat a bad word to say about someone?
It's a really good question. Fat is a word that lots of people have used to be mean to other people
Mm,
because they're trying to draw attention to something that makes someone different. But if you really think about it, the word fat is just neutral. It just means something about how a person looks. It's no different than saying someone is tall or saying the color of their hair. It's just a neutral thing. But the way that people use the word can be kind of mean. So it's
mm,
important to remember that it's fun and exciting to see how different all different kinds of bodies can look from one another. We don't want to point out to people the things that make them different because they might have all different kinds of feelings about that.
mm.
Always notice things inside of your head.
So the word fat is okay to describe someone, just like if you were going to say they were tall or skinny, but we don't need to point that out or use the word fat or even words like tall or skinny. I actually did learn recently that people used to think that being fat or having a certain amount of fat on your body meant that you weren't healthy or strong, or even that you ate too much. But doctors know now that the size of your body actually has nothing to do with how healthy or strong you are or how much you eat.
I feel like we can think about like if you go to a dog park and you see all the different kinds of dogs, some dogs are really big and some dogs are really little. And when you see the big dogs and the little dogs, you can't really know anything about what's going on inside of them.
Hmm.
Sometimes different people, just like different dogs, are just made to be different sizes. And that's part of what makes it cool, how we're all different.
Yeah, I'm really noticing that as I'm looking at all these pictures that it is really cool how everybody's body is different. And I feel like what you said is really important for all of us to remember that it is okay to notice and it's okay to ask questions, but using words to describe people's body when you're talking to them is not a kind thing to do.
Yeah, there's more interesting things to talk about than just how somebody looks.
This next page says dark skin, olive skin, every shade of brown skin, pink, pale, or peach skin. Bodies are cool. The people on the page are painting a wall with all different colors. It looks like so much fun. I read another book recently that described different colors of skin as sweet foods like caramel, cocoa, mocha, vanilla, and honey. I like that better than just black and white. I see so many different shades of skin on this page. It's really beautiful.
Yep, skin comes in so many different colors, and just like these people are painting a mural and using lots of different colors of paint, we got lots of different colors of skin too. It's like a rainbow.
I am noticing a pattern on these pages, Tyler. I think that every page is going to end with the same 3 words. Bodies are cool, which is the title of this book. Listeners, I will pause before reading those 3 words on this page if you want to say it with us as I read. Poofy hair, wavy hair, springy curls and flat hair, lots of hair or no hair.
Bodies
Bodies
are
are cool.
cool.
Yay! All of the people on this page are at the park with their dogs, and all of the dogs' fur matches their owner's hair. I love it. One person who is riding in a motorized wheelchair even has a pink and purple bird on their hand, matching their super cool pink and purple hair. I never thought about how there are at least as many different kinds of hair as different kinds of fur on dogs. A person with brown cord shaped locks is running with a dog that has the same corded hair. I wonder if it grows that way on people and dogs or if it is a hairstyle like braids that you put in. In front of that person is an older person rollerblading with their dog. They both have straight gray hair. And in front of them is another person with big, black, beautiful, poofy hair. They are walking a service dog. I think it is a poodle, and it has almost the exact same black, poofy, beautiful, curly hair. There's also a person with really light yellow curly hair holding a small puppy on their lap with the same color and texture of hair. So cute.
I wonder if the next time that you are walking outside and you see some dogs, if you can try to spot a dog that has the same kind of hair as you. I bet you'll find it somewhere. There are so many cool kinds of hair on this page, and I thought we can talk a little bit about a few of them. The person who's running with their dog, who has hair that's in these long cords that are pulled back into a bun, those are called locks. And it's something that happens where people who have really, really curly hair, if they twist their hair in a special way, all of the hairs will clump together. Keeps the hair strong and healthy, and it also looks really beautiful.
Yeah.
And there are also dogs that have hair kind of like that. It's this one special kind of dog. And I'm not sure if the people who have the dog are the ones that help them have hair like that, or if it just naturally grows like that. But it's pretty cool to have hair matching with your dog.
Seriously, it's so cool and really, really beautiful.
Yeah. Then over on the picnic blanket, there are a bunch of kids playing with puppies. One of the kids has just a little bit of hair on their head. They have some spots that don't have any hair at all. And that can come from lots of different health conditions where people have no hair, or they just have a little bit of hair, or they have hair in certain places on their head.
Mm.
And they have a kind of dog that also has little patchy hair like that.
Oh my gosh. So cute.
One more, there's a kid whose skin and hair are both very, very light, almost white. That is a condition called albinism. That's where someone doesn't have any pigment in their skin or in their hair. And pigment is the thing that gives our skin and hair color. So
Mm.
without it, it just looks super light or white. It's a condition that can happen with animals too.
That is really cool. On this next page, oh, I love this page. The words say leg hair, armpit hair, fuzzy lip and chin hair, brows meet in the middle hair.
Bodies
Bodies
are
are
cool.
cool. On this page, lots of people are outside relaxing, playing, and making s'mores by a campfire. Fun! I noticed someone standing next to the fire who is talking with their hands. I wonder if that is sign language. So many happy people here. The words remind me to notice the hair on all of these beautiful bodies. Most people have hair of some kind, hair on their head, on their face, or on their legs. Some people have hair on their arms and in their armpits. One person laying down in the grass has curly hair all over their back. They look really calm. They're laying on the grass with one hand in the stream. Some people who look like they might be girls have short hair on their heads. And some people who look like they might be boys have long hair on their heads. I guess it really doesn't matter because everyone, whether they are a girl or a boy or non binary, gets to have their hair however they want. I think that might be the same with hair on people's faces. I see people who look to me like girls, and they have hair in between their eyebrows and above their lips, by their ears, and even on their chins. I guess I thought only boys and men had hair around their mouths, like a beard or a mustache. That's probably because I mostly see face hair on boys and grown up men. But I'm pretty sure all of these people are happy with how the hair grows on their body and that their bodies are just how they should be.
That's right. People of all different genders can have hair in all different places on their bodies. And really, everyone has hair on their face. Just some people have shorter or thinner hair. Lots of women and girls have hair on their faces. I have hair on my face. If you look, there's a little girl on the side of the page who's sitting by a tree with a book. And that girl is kind of supposed to be me when I was a kid.
Oh.
And she has glasses and dark hair just like I do. And she has hair between her eyebrows and above her lip because that's what I had too. Sometimes as a grown up, I can feel kind of embarrassed about that hair. But really, there's nothing wrong with it. If I want to remove it, I can, but I don't have to.
Yeah. Some people, whether they're a girl or a boy or non binary, they grow out the hair on their legs because that feels good to them and they like the way that that looks. And then other people, whether they're a girl or a boy or a non binary person, they like to shave the hair on their legs. That's the same with hair on your face. Everybody gets to decide what feels right for them. And some people might like having hair on their face, and other people might not. Just depends on who you are.
That's right. And you can always change your mind.
So there's not one right way to have hair on your body, there's just lots of different ways.
That's right.
The words on this page say hazel eyes, brown eyes, monolids, and round eyes, blind and wearing glasses eyes,
Bodies
bodies
are
are cool.
cool.
On this page, everyone is sitting in a movie theater. I wonder what movie they are watching. I am looking closely at all of the different kinds of eyes people have. I knew people had different eye colors, but wow, there are a lot of different shapes and sizes too. Some people's eyes are round, other people's eyes are shaped more like an oval or a triangle, and some are shaped like a half circle. Some people have glasses, one person has an eye patch. I saw a kid on the last page that had an eye patch too. I wonder why they have to wear that. I also noticed two kinds of eyes I have never seen before in real life. One person has two eyes that are the same shape and color, but they are different sizes. I wonder if they can see the same out of each of their eyes. The other person I am looking at has a hijab on and glasses, and the part of their eyes that is usually colored is light gray. And the black part in the middle, the pupil, is white. I wonder if that is the blind and wearing glasses person. Also, Tyler, what is monolid?
That's a good question. It's a word that I learned pretty recently too. A monolid is where the upper part of a person's eyelid covers a little bit of the inner corner of their eye. And it can make the eye look a little bit narrower or slightly different shape, but it doesn't always look like that. And monolids are usually found on people who either are from Asia or who have their ancestors from Asia.
Mm, interesting. Okay.
And you were right about the blind and wearing glasses person. If you look carefully, you can also see that that person is holding a cane that's all folded up.
Oh, yeah.
That's a cane that a person who can't see or can't see well might use to help them get around. Something cool that I learned about those canes is that when the person isn't using it or they're sitting down, they can fold the cane up like an accordion.
Cool. Does everybody who is blind look like that? Or are there different ways that people's eyes look if they're blind?
There are all different kinds of ways that people's eyes can look if they're blind. Sometimes, if someone is blind, their eyes might look exactly like someone who isn't blind. Sometimes people wear glasses. Sometimes people wear dark glasses that shade their eyes from the sun if they're sensitive to the sun. All different ways that eyes can look.
Wow. So cool. Crooked faces, bump nose faces, flat nose, full lips, gap toothed faces, stick out ears and thin lip faces.
Bodies
Bodies
are
are
cool.
cool. This scene looks really familiar to me. Everyone is at what looks like a pumpkin patch or an orchard. People are getting corn and potatoes, I think cranberries, apples and pears, pumpkins and beets and squash and carrots. Yum! Fall is my favorite season. I am looking closely at everyone's faces now. There really are lots of different ways that faces can look. I like how everyone's noses and teeth and cheeks and ears are unique and special. Ooh, and I love the pumpkins that are carved to look just like the kids holding them.
Yeah, my favorite season is fall also. So this is an extra fun page to draw. Something a little secret about this page is that the pumpkins aren't the only fruits or vegetables that look like the people who are holding them. Those are the most obvious because people carved faces. Lots of people are holding fruits or vegetables that kind of look like the shape of their nose. So someone with a long pointy nose is holding a carrot.
Oh,
Someone with
yeah.
a big round nose is holding a butternut squash. There are people who are next to some fruits and vegetables that have to do with the size of their lips. So the thin lip people are scooping up small cranberries, but then the people with full lips have big beets. And there are people who are holding up ears of corn by their ears.
Yes. Oh my goodness. You really thought about every single picture and image and item on this page and all the pages, I bet. Love that. Freckled bodies, dotted bodies, rosy patched or speckled bodies, dark skin swirled with light skin bodies.
Bodies
Bodies
are
are
cool.
cool. Everyone is having ice cream on this page. All of the people at the ice cream parlor have really special kinds of skin. And all of the ice cream scoops match the person's skin who is eating it. I think I'm noticing a pattern in these pictures, Tyler. One person has light brown skin with lots of dark brown and white moles. Moles are like freckles, but bigger, and they're eating ice cream that looks like it has chocolate and white chocolate chunks in it, just like the person's spots. The person sitting next to them has light, milky skin with speckles all over. I don't think I've seen someone with skin like that. Their ice cream looks like strawberry because it is light pink with darker pink speckles in it, just like the person's speckled skin. The next person I see with lighter skin has large, dark pink patches on their face and arm. Hmm, I don't know if I've seen that kind of skin either. Their ice cream cone looks like rainbow sherbet, which is three different flavors swirled together, usually orange, lime, and raspberry. The pink raspberry patches look just like the patches of pink on the kid's skin. The next kid I see has dark chocolate skin with light pink, round, swirling patches. I have seen people with that kind of skin before. They're having a soft serve ice cream cone with vanilla and chocolate swirled together, just like their skin. The last kid I see has light, peachy colored skin with so many freckles. Oh, and they have a hearing aid. Their ice cream looks like soft serve vanilla with so many sprinkles on top. The sprinkles look just like all of those freckles. I love how these drawings help me see different kinds of skin as sweet and special and cool.
That's right. Whenever I'm drawing people and I put the freckles on at the end, it always feels like I'm putting sprinkles on the drawing. So that's what
Mm,
this page. If you're looking at the different kinds of skin, moles and freckles are probably two that you've already seen on people.
mhm.
But I can tell you about some of the other kinds of skin that might be less familiar.
That'd be great.
So the person who has the strawberry ice cream has these pinkish patches all around, and there are lots of different skin conditions that can cause things like that. It could be eczema, it could be something else. Some people have patches like that only in certain places of their body or just one place. The person with the rainbow ice cream with the raspberry patches has this thing called a port wine stain, and it's a birthmark that got its name because it's the color of a glass of wine. The kid with the chocolate and vanilla swirl ice cream has a condition called vitiligo. So if you remember when we talked about albinism on the hair page, we talked about pigment. Vitiligo is where a person loses pigment throughout their life. So they might start with their skin all one darker color, and then
Mm.
in certain areas it will get lighter.
Okay.
The person might, as they get older, have bigger and bigger light patches. They might be on different parts of their body. So that might be something that you see or something that you have.
Yeah, I have seen that before. Can you say that word again slowly for me?
Of course, it's called vitiligo.
Vitiligo. Okay. Really cool. Just want to keep saying amazing over and over. It's so good. It's just so great. I mean, you're just so incredible. It's really beautiful to look at and really beautiful to think about all of these differences that people have. We are going to pause here for today. There are still lots of pages left to read and think about, but we want those perfect bodies to find another activity for now. Move around, have a snack, or make some art. Tyler and I will be back to finish the book, talk about how she makes her art, and listen to her read the book all the way through. If you would like to learn more about Tyler, Bodies Are Cool, and the other books Tyler has written and illustrated, there are links at the bottom of this episode that a grown-up can help you open. Thank you for reading with us.
Thank you.